I'm upset. Send a letter or send an email, help get complete with some things, a little sad, but that's the way your life is played out. Nothing wrong with it, and it's extraordinary you took an action to get complete. But now we're going to start to create something, okay? Okay, good. All right, awesome, thank you. All right, so every upset has 3 elements to it. Now, usually one stands out as the most significant. So when you look at upsets from this view, you will see something very amazing. Here's what you're going to see. The source of all your upsets in life is located with you. What a surprise. You are the one with the thwarted intention. You are the one with the undelivered communication. You are the one with the expectations. It is you. Now, to come from being at the source of your own upsets goes against common sense. Because common sense tells us that it's always someone or something outside of us that's making us upset. Like, it's just that customer. It's just that customer's crazy. No, it's just, you don't know my wife, you don't know my husband, that's just the way they are. They just do these things. These damn girls I'm going on dates with are not listening. And it's real, because I did landmark form and I got that nobody listened. So I know for a fact she's not listening. So that's her fault. Now, why is it that thwarted intentions, unfulfilled expectations, and undelivered communications make you upset? Why do you think? Because you're out of integrity? Yeah?
Disappointment and not able to be fully self-expressed.
Disappointment, not being able to fully be self-expressed. What else? Yeah, Patty?
Because it happened again.
Because it happened again. Yeah, yeah, Jess?
Just an idea of how life should be.
We have an idea of how life should be. Yeah, Vanessa?
You're viewing it as not your control.
You're viewing it as not in your control. Yeah. So thwarted intentions, unfulfilled expectations, and undelivered communications make you upset because they remind you of a time in the past when you were upset. So the secret to living a life, an upset-free life, is to get that you are never upset about what you think you are upset about. What you are upset about is never actually happening now. You know, I was looking at this Friday morning. I wake up and I have an email, and it's from Yelp, and it says you have a 2-star review. And I mean, I am a maniac about our Yelp page. Like, we get so much revenue from it. It's critical, and it's all 5 stars, and we have like 1 4-star. So we take it serious. So anytime, you know, it's not like we haven't gotten bad reviews before. It's just I'm an animal about getting things complete, and I get it complete every time. But this one was a review of, you know, don't go with these guys. I got, their quote was at least 300% higher than the next 2 highest bids. You know, just looking out for people so people don't get ripped off. They're trying to rip you off. I'm like, I am upset. Like, who are you? Like, I'm looking at his name, and I'm trying to look him up in the CRM, and I'm texting other people. I'm like, do you guys know who this is? What is this? And, you know, I didn't know. Like, there was not his name in the initial. Now, a lot of people on Yelp use different names and stuff. But I couldn't find him, so, like, now I'm even more upset. I'm like, I can't even, like, talk to the guy. This is BS. Why would you, you know, and I'm texting my friends, too. You know, I'm like, look at this review I just got. And so we could all be in agreement how this guy's a terrible person. So, you know, and if you could sense some familiarness, this is just like how those general contractors were, terrible people. But I noticed, I went to work out, and, you know, there's about 20-some people, and then the instructor's giving the exercises, and I noticed I'm staring at the guy for about 2 minutes, and then it clicked for me. I was like, whoa, I have not been listening to a single word that was said. you know, and I've been trained and developed every single day for the last 7, 8 years to listen, and I'm like, I am not present. I am not present. And if you asked me if I was upset at that moment, I would say no, because I'm not angry, I'm not mad, I'm just like thinking like that. But I'm upset. And it clicked for me, like, that's how upsets happen for me. Like, that's how they show up. Now, I'll get upset, I'll get mad, and those upsets are easy to identify, but to completely be checked out and numb, that's how upsets show up for me sometimes. And I could see that. And then I looked around the room, and, you know, there's like 20-some people, and I look around, and I went, nobody here has any idea, like, what's going on inside my head. I have no idea what's going on inside any of their heads. This is not a breakdown for anybody else. Like maybe for a couple of my employees it's a breakdown, but this is a breakdown for me because I'm saying this is a breakdown. And I just went through this whole technology. I went, all right, the upset's here with me. I've got an unfulfilled expectation. I've got, you know, a thwarted intention. I've got, you know, this whole thing going on. And I started to catch the familiar. It's like it just reminds me of times in the past where I've done something and it's like I have no say about it. Like I'm a little kid in trouble and I have no say. I'm like, I can't get a hold of this guy. This is not fair. This is my life. This is not okay. You know, I'm like upset. And I noticed the terrible. I'm like, I'm making this guy wrong. And I looked at it. I went, all right, what's my real intention? What am I really upset about? Because what's running through my mind is revenue will go down because we'll get less phone calls and blah, blah, blah. I had another story that this is going to open the floodgates for other people to leave bad reviews because maybe people haven't wanted to be the first one to, you know, be that person to leave the bad review. You know, and whether that's true or not, like that makes no difference. But it was right there. I'm like, that's how I am with upsets. And I gave it up. Like, all right, I can give up being right about this situation. And that this is the worst thing in the world, you know, like that's how it also shows up. And luckily you could send a message on Yelp, so I sent the guy a message and said, look, you know, I'd love to know who you are. I don't know what happened. You know, sometimes we see things that other people don't see, or they see things we don't see, and I don't know who you are in the system, but I would just love to know, and I'm so sorry for this. We are not in the business of ripping people off. And sent the message, and then 2-3 hours later, it was deleted. He wrote back, he said deleted. I'm like, what? Like, I was ready to do anything. I'm like, I am not above bribing. I am not above, you know, I will do anything. So, you know, but I was actually able to deal with it. Some of the actions were familiar from what I've done in the past, but giving up and not being so dramatic about it was distinct. A bad Yelp review is like a cloud over my world until it is resolved. Like whoever shared that, you know, is that Tara? Yeah. It's like nothing, I cannot be happy until this is solved. So that gives you like a little sense of, all right, I'm the one who created that breakdown. Nobody else cares that there is a 2-star review on a painting company's Yelp page. Nobody's upset by that. Like, who cares? All right. So what you were upset about is never actually happening now. People don't know that they are upset about something other than what's going on now, and they don't know it. When we are upset, we are actually reliving an incident from our past when we were upset. Then we react to what's happening now as if what's happening now is making us upset. So there is no upset in what is happening. There is no upset in what is happening. When you are in a conversation with somebody and you think they are making you upset or they're saying things that are upsetting you, there is no upset in what's happening. All upset is a function of some story about what happened in the past. And that story from the past is triggered by thwarted intentions, unfulfilled expectations, and undelivered communications. And when you get all that, you get that you are at cause in the matter of that upset. Therefore, you could be cause in the matter of dismantling your upset. So now I want to work with somebody to dismantle an upset. So who has an upset and would like to work with me? I mean, that face, just so you know, that's a very enrolling face. All right, let's go. All right, so what's the upset?
All right, so the upset is that I'm taking the advanced course this weekend with a recent ex.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I can get more specific, but that's the general upset.
And why, for some people it's not an upset, why is that an upset?
It's an upset for me because when we were deciding to part ways, he kind of tried to non-consensually dismantle me, and like, or maybe I'm not using the right language, but like, he was like, oh, well, here in the advanced course, there's this thing called the ACT, and maybe you act this way because of your ACT. He did the thing where he tries to like psychoanalyze you because of all the
Okay.
intimate things I had told him about myself in my past.
Yeah,
So I'm feeling really scared to arrive at the advanced class and be vulnerable
yeah, yeah,
and get the most out of it.
yeah. So is that an unfulfilled expectation, thwarted intention, or undelivered communication?
All of it.
But which one has the most weight?
Unfulfilled expectation.
And what's the unfulfilled expectation?
Or no, thwarted intention. The intention is to get the most, is to be able to be vulnerable and look at my own shit
Yeah,
and not worry about what everyone else thinks about me and,
Yeah.
and get the most out of
yeah.
the advanced course.
And he's thwarted that.
I don't know that he has with my stories.
No, yeah, don't worry about
Um,
like trying to have the right answers. Like you want to get this, you know, and you want to pick an area for you because you want to go through this and we're going to do the methodology. But don't go, okay, I know that's a story. You know, stay right here in the distinction. What's the unfulfilled expectation? What's the undelivered communication? Or the thwarted intention? So this is, I want to get the most. I know you didn't say it this way. Like I want to get the most out of my advanced course, be vulnerable and be free. And he has thwarted that. Is that what it is? Or you-
Yes.
Or you want to
Yeah.
say it in a
No,
better way?
that's a good way to say it.
Okay.
I'm just trying to not make him wrong, but I understand that we're just
No,
doing
just
that
keep
for
making him
the
wrong.
sake of
This
making
is
him wrong.
good.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
This is your freedom to make him wrong.
Great.
All right. Now the next part of dismantling an upset is identifying what you are really upset about. So I'm asserting that you are never really upset by what's happening in the present. Consider that what you are upset about in the present is only an unwitting reminder of something from your past. So look for similar upsets in your past. Look at what does this current upset remind you of?
It reminds me of other times when I have been vulnerable about my weaknesses to people and they used it as ammunition against me
Got it.
to decide that I'm an asshole
Yeah, who did that
or
before?
whatever else. Various friends
Okay.
or a specific friend group.
Okay, so there's been a friend group who's done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it. Got it. Okay. So the next part of dismantling an upset is to get present to what is actually happening. So regarding your upset, what are you upset about and what happened?
I'm upset about that other thing that happened and scared that it's gonna happen again.
Yeah. And what happened then?
Specific people from a friend group, multiple people took me expressing myself genuinely and authentically and turned it against me as me being an asshole.
And how did they turn it against you?
Um,
So you said certain things, then how did they use that against you?
like talk shit behind my back, stop being my friend, unfriended me on Facebook without being willing to have a conversation about why. A lot of it's still vague,
Mm-hmm.
because there's undelivered communications
Yeah.
in that.
Yeah. Yeah. So now if you could now the next step is you want to get what happened as what happened. So the what happened is they said words, or you said words to them, then they said words, or click the button on Facebook?
I don't know, no, yeah, I don't know what the thing really is that happened.
Uh-huh,
So I'd have a hard time actually telling you what happened. So my incompleteness.
sorry, hang on one second. So, I just wanna check in. You wanna really bring yourself forward, because I know we're going through the methodology, and in one sense, dealing with an upset is an easy way to check out. No, there's no rejection or abandonment that happened. Don't take her down that path. But you wanna stay, you wanna check yourself, because it's just like in the Saturday night of the forum, the fear exercise. Some people check out, some people get sleepy. My request is you really bring yourself forward here. Like, really examine your upsets. Because I know, and I say that because I know for myself, mine is I check out. I check out. Or I'll go on Facebook or watch TV. It's like, it's like a go-to. So regarding what happened, what actually happened?
There's a
You
bunch
said-
of different scenarios. One of them is somebody clicked a button on Facebook.
Uh-huh.
One of them is, and then I sent a message with words that said, "Hey man, why did you unfriend me on Facebook? Can we talk about this?" And he said, "No, I don't want to."
Yeah.
So that's one specific one that keeps
Yeah.
coming up. There's a variety of other things that happen that I haven't thought about in a while that I
Yeah.
could try to get and figure out and remember.
Yeah.
A lot of it is very vague and non-specific,
Yeah.
and like, I don't really know what happened, but I
Yeah.
have theories,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, maybe it's because I said this thing, and
Yeah. But is you said words, they have either said words, unclicked the button, or there is no communication.
right,
Words haven't been said to each other.
correct.
Is there anything else?
I don't know.
But really look, don't just take my word for it, like, you really wanna look, like, you wanna get so it's flat, that all that's happened, unless there's something else, all that's happened is you said words, they said words, or didn't say words, unclicked the button on a website, you sent a message on the website, they sent a message back. So is there anything else that's happened?
I don't think so.
But that's what's happened, and since then, who's the one that's put the meaning in?
I know.
Yeah, and what's the meaning that you put there?
That they think I'm an asshole,
Yeah,
and that they're assholes because they think I'm an
Yeah,
asshole,
yeah,
and
for
talk to
sure.
me about it, yeah.
so you gotta blame them a little bit.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, they're definitely all a bunch of assholes, and they both
Yeah.
mean that and don't mean that.
But that since then, that they've done what they've done, they're a bunch of assholes, and then what else?
I've also decided that I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't open yourself up, because you'll get used against you. What was it that you were saying at the beginning? That it gets used?
It's ammunition.
It's ammunition.
And it's not don't open yourself up, it's don't open yourself up to specific people that
Yeah.
I open myself up
You can
quite
get
a
that,
bit.
right? Don't open yourself up to specific people. They're a bunch of assholes, and then I'm also an asshole. And then what else?
Like, don't open yourself up to people that might end up thinking you're an asshole.
Yeah. And what's the experience of life been with that?
A lot of useless anger and shitty storm clouds in my head.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And then that your ex-boyfriend you've opened yourself up to him, you're afraid that ammunition's gonna be used back against you? Or that he now has
Yeah, or
ammunition?
even, it's not even necessarily direct, like he's gonna do something to me or say something to me. It's like, I don't want him talking shit to someone else about me, or even
So
in
if he
his
said,
work
then
deciding
it's-
that I'm.
that right there, so if he says words about you to another human being,
Mhm.
that is now called talking shit. Pardon the way I'm
Yeah.
speaking. I don't actually really mean that, but, So, but I really, I had to catch that right there, it's like, no, but really, if the words that I've used really impact you, please let me know, because I really mean it, like, I don't want one word I use to take you out. It's like, I don't like that you're the speaker, you're the leader, and you say things that, you say that, please let me know, because I really want everybody to get every word of what's being said here.
Well, I'm the one that's dropping
I know,
the
but
foul language,
it's different
talking
if
like a
it's you.
sailor over here.
Yeah, but, so now that they say things like that, now you've now categorized that. So if he says things about you, you've now categorized that as that's talking crap.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more nuanced than that.
What's that?
I think I've categorized that as he's gonna convince other people that I'm a jerk, and then they're gonna think I'm a jerk, and then I'm gonna be
Good.
sad,
Yeah,
and I'm gonna decide that I'm an asshole, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna feel guilty,
Yeah.
and that's
So-
spiral around it.
yeah. So you could get the world, if people talk behind my back, or they say things that I don't know is happening, now I've got this.
Or even if he doesn't say anything to anyone, just him having those beliefs about me rather than, okay, it didn't work out, but I still have love in my heart. Like
Yeah.
that bothers me to go through the world
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Alright, so here's the thing. People are going to say things about you with you not being there. You know that, right? You know, they just are. They're not
They
even
sure are.
Yeah. And they're gonna say things that you may like or don't like. You know that that's gonna happen, right?
Yes, I know that's.
And that you've shared stuff with people and you may not want them to share and they're gonna share with other people. That's gonna happen.
Yes, absolutely.
But see, now we live this unreal life, like people shouldn't be doing this. Or that nobody's gonna gossip about me. You are now constrained from a fear of people saying words about you without you knowing what they're saying.
Oh, yeah.
That's the life you've been living.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm living it, I know.
yeah. None of that has anything to do with who you are now. It has nothing to do. Like, you've been living like what they say about you, or what they do or don't do, whether they're your friend on Facebook, whether they talk about you or want to talk to you or don't talk to you anymore. You've been living like that means what you think it means about you. You guys get that? So what's been the impact of that?
I've made myself wrong.
Yeah.
Like when, I forget your name, but you were talking about being like deformed or ugly or something, in that moment, I was like, oh, I decided I'm an asshole because of this experience.
Yeah, yeah. And you've been relating to yourself like that's who you are.
Yeah.
So who put that there? That you're an asshole?
Them and me.
But who did that?
I did.
I know you're
Yeah,
not
I
the
mean,
right
I
answer, but
see
who?
it, yeah, I see
Yeah.
it, I just.
But you did that.
And sometimes I really see it and sometimes I
Yeah.
don't really see it.
And even if they did go, hey, you know what? Everything you've shared we're going to use as ammunition, and we really think you are an a-hole, we really think this about you, and we don't like you, and you're a terrible person, and blah, 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 blah. Thank you for sharing all these things with us. This is now in, our bag of what we get to use against you. Even if they do that, so what?
Right, I decided to believe them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
yeah. Now you gotta get, that's really extraordinary to get. That's not the life of a human being. That's not how every one of us in our chairs, and I'll got my own chair too, that's not how we live life. It's, no, they did that to me, they are this way. Now, you've already created a future called, I'm going to my advanced course and I can't be fully self-expressed and alive because I have this guy who knows stuff about me. So what? So what? So what do you see? Say back to us a couple things that you
That's
see
a
so
good
far.
take home. So what is like a good wrap it up of all of it. That works better for me than like really trying to like understand the nuances.
Yeah.
It's like, so what?
Yeah, but what do you see?
I see that I have like lowered my self-worth over the years, deciding that I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm also sorry, not sorry if you don't like the word asshole. I might be an asshole.
Just give her proof.
Yeah, so I definitely, like, have recently realized how much it's lowered my self-worth and how
Yeah.
much I've really internalized that, believed that, decided that, you know, hyperanalyzed that things I do are wrong, or I shouldn't be a leader, or I shouldn't,
Yeah.
you know, I've definitely, like, for years, I stifled being a leader because I didn't want to come across as bossy.
Yeah, yeah.
I've got a new group of friends who will just like how I act, so that is
Yeah.
helping.
So now you can see some fixes to the problem. All right, these people, I don't like them, so I'll go hang out with them. Now you've killed off a whole group of people. You now live a life where if you are nice to me, and you don't say things like those other people, I like you, and you're now in this box, these people go
No,
in this
they
box.
say things to me, they just say things to me in a healthy way.
Oh, in a healthy,
And we work
okay.
through it.
Okay, in a healthy way
Yeah.
that we could work through
They appreciate
this.
that I speak my mind, and then they speak their mind, and we work through things. So
Yeah.
it's,
But you gotta get how ordinary that is.
what part?
Well, what do you think is ordinary about that?
I don't think that is ordinary, I think that's extraordinary to interact with people that are willing to have that conversation with you.
No, I could get that part being extraordinary, but that you've now killed off a segment of humanity.
Yeah, I know that part's, yeah, for sure.
Like, I
screw you guys,
can't
I'm
be
out.
with them, I can't be fully self-expressed with this kind of human
Right.
being. This kind of human
Yeah,
being,
that's an easy
yeah,
pattern,
they're my
that's
cup of
ordinary.
tea. These are, you know, or what's the thing people say, this is my tribe. You know, or those are my people. These are the people I like. I don't like these people. Great. Welcome to the world. Welcome to Muslim, Christian, Republican, Democrat. Welcome to the world we live in. Here's the human condition, and we're doing the same thing. It's just as nasty. That is a war. And it's completely justified. No, these are my people, they listen, we deal with things healthy. These people, no. That's humanity right there. The human condition, it gets created from that. I don't like the color of your skin. I don't like your religion. I don't like your stance on this. Here we go. I just want the world to work. But we need to get rid of those people. You get that?
Yeah. I don't, it's, yes, that's not all there is. I've also tried to have communications with many of them.
Yeah.
Because
I
it's not like like my friends, you know,
It's
the
like-
people who are the good friends and are like, oh, well, screw those guys, you're not your tribe. I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, I don't know, I kind of want to work it out.
I
But I
got it.
haven't, but there's undelivered communication and I haven't been able to
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, no, and now you've got an access there. So I'm not diminishing what you've done, but it takes an extraordinary person to be straight about, this is the war that I've created. There is a civil war between myself and these people. I'm guilty too. I created a civil war between those builders and my company. And if we could have gone to war and I wouldn't get hurt, and nobody would know, and I could live with it, and I wasn't a seminar leader and cared about people, then I would have loved to go to war with them. People who leave bad Yelp reviews. I'll go to war with you. Like, it's there automatically as a human condition. It just doesn't show up in the magnitude of what happens in society. But it's just as nasty. Now, you're doing the extraordinary work for us. Okay? So let's acknowledge Diana. Sarah, how many people, like, what are you getting out of this conversation? What does Diana open the door for you? Yeah, Joel, stand up, please.
Thank you for sharing. Just caused a breakthrough in awareness of what I'm doing with my life. Worried about what she's thinking about me has affected how I behave. It's painted a whole new layer of anything I get to figure out. So thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So let's acknowledge everybody at the end. I just want to hear a couple more. Bryce?
Yeah, I got really present when you were sharing. I can see the whole pattern, listen to the pattern for you, what you and I were talking about today with some of my family.
Yeah.
See the whole pattern right there.
Yes.
It's
What's the pattern?
clear as freaking day. My little 7-year-old self, picking things up, tidying, expecting things to improve, change the world, come back,
Mm.
goes right back to the way things were. No one even says thank you. You know, make myself useless.
Yeah.
And I'm still fighting that battle.
Yeah.
And that's very present to me. So thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. One more person. Yeah. Randy.
So what I got is, the more I surround myself with people that deal with things like me, the easier my life becomes, and the more dehumanized those other people become, regardless of what side they're on.
Yeah.
Because they're not making life easy for me.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not really about them at all.
Yeah.
It's about, I just don't want to do the work.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's lazy.
Yeah. Great. Let's acknowledge everyone that shared that. I really, like, my intention is you get that you can be powerful with anybody, no matter what they say, no matter what they've done. It's you who's created the upset. It's you. It's not them, it's you who's created that. You get that? And you,
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
I don't,
I know,
I,
I know
I
it's-
don't fully like get it,
you don't
but
even
like,
have to.
but
Yeah.
I'm trying, that's why
Yeah.
I'm up here,
No, I know, it takes
but
something.
in theory, I get it.
Yeah, and I get it, it takes something, because it's like, why? When my coach told me, when he pointed out that I was incomplete with those builders, I mean, I went on plenty about these guys. Like, I've got every reason in the book why they're jerks and terrible people and blah, 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 blah. It took something for me to get that maybe, just maybe, I have a point of view. Maybe. Maybe, maybe, maybe. I just felt I had a more transformed point of view. Like, they have no integrity, and I did. I'm honorable, and I'm a great person, and look at me, and blah, blah, blah. You know, I love people, and, you know, they're just that kind of person. Yes, stand up.
Yes, Lacey.
I'm kind of stuck because, so we kind of identify.
Here, switch spots, because we'll hash this out. All right, well, I'm actually gonna leave you there, because
Okay, thank you.
this might get cleared up. Let's acknowledge Diana.
So we like identify the situation,
Yep,
but like in both of those situations, someone else had the same kind of thing where the other person, like they were stuck in this upset, but the situation, there was like the other people weren't allowing them to be complete, either like not communicating.
those guys never email me back, and I'm complete with them. Nobody has power over me being complete.
Okay, so basically the completists are going, well, so what? You know, they're just assholes.
Okay, you can create that.
Well, I mean.
It's probably not a powerful view. But what Diana can get present to is, I made that up. I made it up, that I can't share myself, that I can't be expressed, that I can't be this. She made that up. Those people are not a-holes. Those people are not however we could create them as. They're skin bags doing skin bag things, walking around as meaning-making machines, doing whatever they do. And they said whatever they said, and they've unclicked whatever buttons they've unclicked. That's all that's happened.
So then you just come to that as what's so,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, is there anything else that's so
I
about
guess
it?
there's nothing,
Diana's had some opinions about them.
right?
We've formed our own opinions about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, like they're,
have my own opinion on it, cause that's like
yeah.
weird to me.
Yeah.
It's weird to me.
Oh,
And
of course,
nobody
this whole thing is weird.
Yeah.
We're
And
saying,
nobody would
we're about to be able
communicate.
to create a fearless life and being upset free. That's weird, that's not human. We are walking, talking upsets. So stay right there. I mean, no, take a seat, but we're gonna keep creating. Let's acknowledge Lacey. So when you can get to what's so, you now gotta get present to, okay, now what's my opportunity? What can I create here? So I'm gonna summarize the methodology for living an upset-free life. And it's also printed on your assignment tonight. So in your mind, walk through an upset as oh yeah, let's do this. Let's do it this way. So in your mind, walk through an upset of your own as I summarize the technology. Now pick one upset and get present to it. Now, recognize when you are upset and ask, what is the upset? Now shift from, there is something out there making me upset, to the upset is where I am. Shift from there is something out there making me upset, like those people, those group of former friends, to the ex-boyfriend, to my job, my career, to the upset is where I am. And ask yourself, what is my thwarted intention, my unfulfilled expectation, or my undelivered communication? And take whichever one is most prevalent. Next, ask yourself, what from my past does this situation remind me of? And ask yourself, what is really so about the current situation? What are the facts? What actually happened? Who, what, where, and when? Now, taking the upset apart this way leaves you powerfully related to what's so. When you get what's so, you have a choice in the matter. Now, here's what there's going to be to deal with over the next 3 weeks. Now, this is a lot more exciting than the tone I used on that, but this is what you're going to use over the next 3 weeks. So when you get to what's so, you have a choice. Now, here's the choice. You can stay upset. Be right about it. These people are the way they are, or I am the way I am, and this is what's wrong with me, and I don't like this, and blah, blah, blah. Or to invent a new possibility and new actions to take. So we would like to share, what do you now see about an upset that you've had? What actions are now possible? Yeah, come up here, and then Danelle.
So mine is that I'm supposed to be making recruiting calls for my job. And so I have, what I found in the past is that I used to be a loan officer and I had to call real estate agents.
Yeah.
Someone's made me want to throw up in the back, by the way, when you're like making me go through this. So thinking about having to call real estate agents that I used to have to work with,
Yeah.
and now I coach them actually. It makes my heart just race right now thinking about it because of just the feelings I used to have when I would work with them in the past.
Yeah.
And then having to make the phone calls, I'm making excuses for not making the phone calls.
Yeah.
And then ultimately, making stories up of why
Yeah.
I can't meet with them.
Is this a thwarted intention, unfulfilled expectation, undelivered
I
communication?
think it goes through all of it, so my intention
But which one's
is,
most prevalent?
I think I have to go with thwarted intention because I'm supposed to be and I'm telling my team leads that I'm gonna make these phone calls and I'm gonna do this and I got this and, you know, Kim's the bomb, and then I'm not.
Yeah.
I suck.
Yeah. And there it is, it's all right there from the past. And then if you get to what's so, what's the what's so of this?
It's just a conversation.
Yeah,
That's it.
it really is, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's all a conversation.
Yeah.
There's words you could say about the words that you've said in the past on the phone and words that were said back to you. Now there's words that you're saying about the words you're going to say on the telephone to call people who are going to say some words.
Yeah. And that's it.
So standing there, dealing with what's so, what's now possible? What can you create?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna be powerful and change their lives. Why wouldn't I?
Why not, you know? Why not create that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what actions can you take inside of that?
Make the phone calls,
Yeah?
stop telling myself stupid stories.
Yeah. Well,
And
you'll
it's
probably
just
tell yourself stupid
assumptions.
stories, but when the stupid stories pop up, what can you do?
Who cares?
All right.
That's it.
Yeah, I got it. Awesome. Great, 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 great.
So my upset actually happened upon entering the seminar with my husband. He just completed the forum this past weekend, and I had all these like high expectations, and they were unfulfilled throughout Monday and all day today, about like 2 days, to where he was very quiet and like, he's quiet by nature, but like more so like I would be talking to him at lunch and he was just, and I'm like, hey, like, we're changed, you know, and he's like, well, and he was internalizing it differently, and so me, I'm always trying to fix the problem, like, okay, you're upset, what can I do to help you, like, please let me help you, honey, like, let me fix it, and so, tonight, he's like, I don't get it, Dee, like, and he was going through these negative things about Landmark, and I got really defensive about Landmark, and I was like, you know what, like, in my head, I'm thinking, you're wrong about this, like, well, and I was just going through all this stuff, right, because he's still confused and still trying to internalize it.
Yeah.
And so I said, you know, I'm gonna ask Spencer if you can come tonight, and he's like, okay, cool. And so I asked Spencer, Spencer's like, for sure, have him come on in. And so we walk in the door tonight, and he's like, I think I'm gonna leave. And I'm like, he's like, I'm hungry, and I'm like, oh, okay. And so I was like, well, okay, that's fine, but I was upset, like, and I just got completely upset about it. And really, it was me having an unfulfilled expectation regarding his feelings, and you know, he's going through a lot right now. And I remember the first like I'm still going through and learning and internalizing Landmark, and so I was being completely selfish, completely like I tend to do that sometimes. And when we walked in, I was just upset. I'm like, how dare you drive all the way down here with me, and I'm trying to help you fix your problem, and you don't want to walk down and sit with me, like, okay, well, and so, but what I just realized going through all that was, like, he most likely just, I don't know, like, I think what it is, he's like, okay, Dee's trying to fix me, I'm just gonna go with the flow, and he didn't want to tell me, like, hey,
Don't go down that. You're
Okay,
gonna
yeah.
make up stuff. But
no, I'm not gonna make anything up, there was nothing to be upset about. There was nothing to be upset about. He decided he didn't want to come in, and I respect that, and it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's not a deal at all.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't want to come in, and that's okay. Yeah. It's okay, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like really upset. Like I walked in here, and then I started making up like because I was upset. I'm like, my group's not. I'm not talking to my group because I'm upset with him, and I was like. I had this intense tension when I walked in, and really it was just me and a cloud of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's extraordinary. That is extraordinary. Great.
Sure? You sure?
No, it's awesome. I mean, you wrapped it up in a bow. That was beautiful. You know, and look, if you have people do the forum, you of course are going to have expectations. Every person I have do the forum, I'm like, I want them to leave that forum like, this is the greatest thing ever. And nobody ever says that. You know, I mean, like some people do, but it's like they're dealing with it. He's technically in day 4 of his Landmark Forum. It's a 5-day course. He is in Monday of his Landmark Forum. He is messed up. All over the place. You know, it's like we could say whatever, but I mean, he's gone however many years of his life not having brackets be a racket. It's just been, that's the way life is. Things about my past that that's the way it is. I am this type of person. And then now it's just like maybe you are nothing. You're a meaning-making machine. Life is empty and meaningless, and it's empty and meaningless. And there you are making meaning. You have brackets, unfulfilled expectations. You've got your stories. You've gotten already always listening. Now it's like right? Yeah. I remember walking on Monday, and and I'm up at CSU, and I remember just like, I didn't know what to say to anybody, but I remember just like walking around and I could see faces for the first time, like walking by people, and I'm like, I used to just walk by people and come up with every reason why I don't like them, or why they don't like me. And I remember looking out and I could see the grass, I could see the mountains, like, this is colorful. Life is colorful. I was all messed up. I didn't know what happened, and I still lied to people. Like, I went to a business thing. So I don't want to have to try to explain this. I was a wimp. So, he is wherever he is. All right. Now, here's the thing. We don't mean don't get upset. Just nip that expectation in the bud. So, but here's what we're creating. Here's what I offer you. Is you give up your right to stay upset. You give up your right to be upset about being upset. You give up your right to indulge in your upset. How many people indulge? You're indulgers. So, what do you see would be possible if you weren't stuck in your upsets?
Solutions.
Action. Letting go. Actions. Sharing yourself. Free. Yeah. So now that you have the methodology for dismantling an upset, you will now have an unreasonable assignment. Yep. Your assignment will be to be upset free between now and next session. I know some of you are silently, you silently have your upset with me even saying that. All right. So it doesn't mean you're not going to get upset, okay? It means you give up your right to stay upset. It means to powerfully resolve every upset you have, from the smallest annoyances to the biggest and most dramatic upsets. Then come back ready to share what you accomplished and where you failed to keep your commitment to being upset free. So, we're now going to have another conversation. And I now want to talk to you about a powerful possibility for being in life. So this possibility of being in a possibility that arises inside a world of breakthroughs. So we're now going to call this way of being fearless in the face of breakdowns. Yeah?
I have a question.
Yeah?
Can you help me make the distinction between, like, really...
Drew, stand up so we can hear you.
The distinction between really, truly letting it go and stopping. And I ask this about myself because since the forum, I'll feel myself start to get upset. And then I go through the life is meaningless and empty thing and kind of talk my way out of it.
Yeah.
And then I find myself questioning.
Yeah.
Am I just suffering and I'm gonna hit a load on somebody someday, or?
Yeah. Look, this is, it's gonna be very simplified. You're gonna have the methodology. This is all you're gonna do when you catch yourself being upset. You ask yourself, which of these is running the show? Because then from there, it's not gonna be a stuffing. You've stuffed it. That's been your familiar ways. You've stuffed it. I'll just get over it, I'll get by it. But no, you want to go through and you want to dismantle it. You got to dismantle it. And you'll have the methodology. And when you can get down to what's so is what's so, now you have a fighting chance. Until then, it's just taking actions on top of something. So I'm not even expecting people to be flawless with this. I'm expecting every single person to come back having had a breakthrough with it and having had lots of failures. This is introducing, we're 20 minutes into like having the conclusion of where there is to even have this. But here's the other thing, as we create this next piece, it's in a breakdown, it occurs as a threat. That's an inauthentic threat. Now, if you have a breakdown and a train's coming at you and you're going to die, that's an authentic threat. You should be threatened. You should be. Get out of the way of the train. It's the way our brains are wired. Animals are chasing you. Get out of the way. Be scared. But every breakdown comes with a perceived threat. It's not even real. You know, and Diana, I know, where are you? Oh, okay. But the work she did was extraordinary. It's, you know, and I know it's not to the other side wrapped in a bow. There's still the dealing with it. But that work is extraordinary because you can see the threat of, there's already a threat going into a course here. A future's created. But when you get the threat as an inauthentic, perceived threat, now we've got a shot at living a fearless life. Because when you get to what's so, there's no threat. There is just what there is. So, stay with this. So I'm going to call this way of being fearless in the face of breakdowns. Being fearless in the face of breakdowns is a way of being that creates extraordinary power in life. So when I say being fearless in the face of breakdowns, what does that mean to you? What do you hear when I say that? Unrealistic, yeah. What else? Yeah, you acknowledge the threat that's there. Yeah, Lou?
Having the courage to embrace what's unfamiliar.
Having the courage to embrace what's unfamiliar. Sandy? Don't run. Matt? Is that Matt or? Oh, yeah.
I was gonna say, don't go back to your familiar way of being.
Yeah, don't go back to your familiar way of being. So, consider that being fearless in life is not a function of what you do or what you know or even what you need to develop. Being fearless in the face of breakdowns is a function of possibility and enrollment. Being fearless in life is a function of enrolling yourself in the possibility of being big enough for whatever's going to come your way. When you are enrolled in the possibility of being big enough for whatever will come your way, you will start to know yourself as someone who is fearless. Being fearless is distinct from courage. Courage is being afraid and taking action anyway. This one is not any better than that. It is not any better than that. Being fearless means that who you are when you face the circumstances is the calm in the eye of the storm. No fear. No fear because you know yourself as big enough, prepared enough, powerful enough to handle whatever will come your way. You expect the unexpected and you meet it as a welcomed guest. Now, creating this possibility is not based on who you have been in the past. It is a matter of creating that